pick up on that out, and deservedly out. Deservedly out. I mean, the two legs, they were as dull as dishwater. I mean, they were garbage. For the money they've spent and the difference in budget that one coach is operating on and one coach is operating on in Manchester, and the size of that club, the buck has to stop with Mourinho on this one. Yeah, we can hammer the players for not playing well, and they didn't. But why do you play Rashford in a different position? How can you get Sanchez into the game? Why the hell does Marouane Fellaini play before a troubled Paul Pogba, but Scott McTominay, who's done really well for him, and yet Marouane Fellaini comes in the last 16 of the Champions League at home to Sevilla for what? Because he's 6'4" and he's big from set pieces? Is that what Man United are all about? Shocking.
You talk about the different in budgets. Let's put it in numbers. Manchester United, $368 million. Sevilla, $196 million. That's a payroll. We're talking about nearly doubling the payroll in terms of one team to the next. We're talking about a Sevilla team, they're fifth in La Liga. And when we say fifth, you say, well, maybe they're competitive. They're fifth. They're 11 points behind fourth place. So there's no chance that Manchester United should have an issue with Sevilla at home. But Manchester United had an issue with Sevilla away from home. At home, Sevilla were better than Manchester United over the two legs. They dominated the first leg. It was David De Gea that had to come up with saves. And Manchester United at home, they did exactly what they have done throughout the course of the season. All of a sudden, you're going to defend Sevilla. Why don't you go and press them? Why don't you go and test them? Why don't you go and have your attacking players go and see whether you can get after this team and score the goals and win the way that you should win? This was embarrassing and inexcusable.
I think you got to look at Mourinho.
Yeah.
Listen, it seems to be quite clear that when Mourinho is the so-called underdog or his team's up against it, he can stick a team out that can sit behind the ball and get in good defensive positions and then break. But when it comes to a night like this, where the pressure's on them and the onus is on them to go forward and break the opposition down, they can't do it. And I think part of the reason is because he's not picking the right players and putting them in the right spots. Craig's already talked about Rashford. Rashford stands wide, whether it's the left or the right, and wants to go at defenders. You've got Sanchez coming off, looking to play balls in behind. Who's he going to play it to? Lukaku's standing up in the middle, and you got Lingard who wants to go through the middle. So how are they going to break teams down? This for me is squarely down to Jose Mourinho. Wrong tactics and the wrong team.
I hate to bring Man City into it, but I'm going to.
All right.
They must be... I mean, Ed Woodward must be thinking, what did I sign on Alexis? How much did I sign Alexis? What am I paying him? Because Man City must be looking, and others are, particularly Man City, that was the jostle between the two, thinking, well, we've dodged a bullet here. Because either Sanchez is not going to be able to do it, or the blame is lying totally at the coach. It's one or the other. You know what I mean? So there has to be an answer there somewhere. So City must be looking, thinking, well, we've got enough good players. He's signed and he's available for the Champions League, and that doesn't make a difference. I mean, if United go, we know they're not going to win this competition, right? And neither will Spurs. Man City are the team that might win it. Liverpool are in a similar boat. They're probably going to go out at some point. But if you go out the competition to Bayern Munich, or Real Madrid, or PSG, or Barca, listen, and you get outplayed, listen, we know that's the way Mourinho does it. And if he gets battered by a bigger team, you might have to accept that. But as Ali pointed out, this is not a strong Sevilla team in their recent history.
Yeah.
This is not a strong Sevilla team. This Man United side, and the boys have touched on it a lot in the last couple of weeks in particular, they are abysmal to watch, and they played abysmally tonight.
So I guess that's my bigger question, is that Manchester United fans, who we get a lot of stick from because we criticize Mourinho and we say things like, look, this team could be better than what they are and should be better than what they are and should be playing better than they are. But they get comfortable in that and really, really cozy in that blanket that says, but Mourinho gets results. But what happens now?
Yeah.
So where do we turn here? Because this is embarrassing, yes. But then you have to ask the question,